Hello, everybody. This is Trucker Brown, and this is who?
Truckissa, as most people know.
I met up with them on what interstate? We're on 80 right now, and we're about to take a quick picture for Instagram. You know, crossing lines and everything like that. So y'all need to check out her because you're starting your YouTube again, right?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Well, eventually she's gonna start a YouTube again. I'm gonna personally make sure it explodes. Me personally. So y'all stay tuned for that. What's your name again?
Truckissa on YouTube.
Who?
Truckissa.
Truckissa. I didn't know that was your name on there. I thought it was Gil or something like that.
No, you're thinking of my Instagram. It's like mgil1993.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you know, I'll post the link so y'all will see it. Coming up soon. Welcome to the Trucker Brown channel. That's just you sub, like, and hit the bell. Here's another question. Or another situation. Okay. I don't do multi-stops, Trucker Brown. I can't stand them. I tell my DM, I don't want them. I like the ones flat back. Is that so? Well, I don't do multi-stops. Rookie mistake. And today I'm gonna tell you why. In the middle of me also vlogging my day at the same time. All right. I admit I was there at one point. You know, I was there. Hated multi-stops. You know, let's talk about why we don't like multi-stops. Number one, you got to deal with the sass mouth shippers and these freaking guard shacks like I had to deal with this morning on my first drop. Prime, we call that an O2. It's annoying. I'm not even going to act like it isn't annoying. Not to mention that if you get 3, 4, 5 of them, then some places will hold you longer because they're not as fast as unloading, which will mess up your other appointment time, which will mess up all type of other stuff. And when you're dealing with reefer, if you end up late, they have, some of these places have a habit, stop at the stop sign, look left and right for pedestrians. They have a habit of telling you, you gotta wait till the next day. Now that messes up your appointment time of that day. If you was late there, it messes your appointment time for the next day. That day may push it back, and the next day may push it back, and then you're stuck with this load for 27 days. You call your DM, you say, no! Stop sign. Make sure you look left, make sure you look right. You say, look, DM, you know, let me tell you, I don't appreciate it. He says, what don't you appreciate? I don't appreciate, because that's how you sound when you're calling, not knowing what you're talking about. You sound ignorant. I don't appreciate how you giving me these multi-stops. I just want to run flat back. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't want to be hitting all these stops. I don't like the headache. The DM's going to reply to you, listen, bro. That load pays good. You're going to cut them off. Hey, I don't care what it pays. Sass mouth is when I say sass mouth, that's what I'm talking about. Sass mouth. What they got going on over yonder? That was a stop sign. I looked left, I looked right. You gonna hit them with the sass mouth and the neck rolling and the snapping your fingers and the no you didn't. You gonna hit them with all that, and that's stupid. Because you really want the multi-stops. All my lease ops that's on percentage is typing right now. You want the multi-stops. Because the multi-stops got the highest pay rate. Let's take the load I'm on right now. If you was like, I don't do multi-stops, you looked at it and said that I didn't want it. Not realizing that the total miles of the whole load is 800 miles and is paying $3,000 plus fuel surcharge for 800 miles. and it's only 27,000 pounds in terrain that's completely flat with appointment times that aren't egregious. Why wouldn't you take that load? Flat, Michigan to New York, just flat. The next load, if I'm not mistaken, goes into New Hampshire. That's probably going to be a pain in the butt cheeks, but other than that, it should be straight. Hold on. Okay, Gucci. All right, I'm straight. Yeah, other than that, yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt cheeks, depending on where in New Hampshire. Because also, if you said you don't take nothing in New York, you'd have missed this load. It's going to New York, but it's going into Lancaster, New York. Really? Stop it. That's not a hard place to drive in. Suck it up, go in there, do what you got to do. Pay the tolls. But what you got to understand that a multi-stop load can set up your whole week nicely. Say this load's going to take a day and a half, 2 days to do, because the appointment times are 2 days. It's going to take 2 days to do. Each day is about 8 to 9 hours worth of driving. Walk in the park. You didn't burn much fuel. You didn't go through much headache. Yeah, you got to deal with some shippers, but it's a small price to pay to make 3,800 miles. Okay? Now, you smart market people who are better human beings than us, you know, y'all are the ascendant. I get that all the time. Well, I don't get that all the time. Instead of coming on here lying to you and saying that I do, I don't, bro. I don't get that all the time. So I'm appreciative of the load. But if you were to hate multi-stops, you'd have missed this. You'd have missed it. Flat out, I missed it. There's no other way to look at it. You said no, he'd have turned you around, gave you a load for about $2 flat a mile, going about 1,000 miles, if not 150 a mile, because A, you denied his load that he really needed done, so he ain't gonna give you the best load in the world. It would have had a crazy appointment, you'd have messed your week up, just because you didn't want to deal with 2 shippers. So that doesn't make much sense now, does it? Now, after he moves out of the way, I'm gonna have to park. I need complete concentration. 1 second. Now I'm waiting. Listen, I don't want you to get bad habits. I don't want your habits to put you in a place where you're not making money, where you end up putting yourself in a situation where, hold on, let me do a quick adjustment, bang, where you end up putting yourself in a situation where you have, due to what you don't like to deal with, you have eliminated all your revenue generating streams. Meaning, you just say you don't go to New York at all because of one city, New York City, but that is a very small portion of New York. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other places that you can go in New York and not be in tight situations, but some people get to the point where I just don't go to New York, period. You know, now you done lost a decent high rate a mile place you can go. I don't do multi-stops. So now that's another thing where multi-stops, well, where I'm at right now, usually in a percentage area, they usually pay pretty well on the mileage because of the headache. And then some people have extra pays that go along, getting money per stop, this and that. You know, you also, what I've realized, when I get something like 3 or 4 stops, it pays very well per mile. You're getting, some places you're getting paid per stop, not to mention it gives you more opportunities to rank up more detention pays. You see what I'm saying? So you dealing with 5 stops, 2 of them are gonna have to pay attention. 2 of them are gonna hold you up. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that detention pay is pay that's not attached to fuel mileage. It's just auxiliary pay. You know what I mean? Yeah, you waited, you sat, but you didn't spend as much fuel as if you were just getting paid by the mile at that time. If anyone understands what I'm trying to say. So that racks it up as well. And now these are things that contribute to getting to those extremely high checks that everybody always brags about. Oh, I made $33 million. You know, when you get to them checks, a lot of it is the is the extra pays. A lot of it is the multi-stop runs. And I got to the point where I want the multi-stop runs, because I was the main one saying, I hate the multi-stop run. I was the main one saying that. But when it comes, once I start, you know, looking at it, it's like, hold on. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you people is that, you know, there's money in the multi-stops. Do not limit your revenue to just having whatever's comfortable. If it's just always comfortable, you're probably not making any money. So understand that there's money in the multi-stops. Don't duck the multi-stops. Don't duck a whole state. You know, really understand the state and know that, you know, there's a lot of places in New York you can't go. There's a lot of places in New York you don't want to go. But, you know, understand the difference. Don't just come out here and just blanket do, you know what I mean? You have to think about your what you're getting. You know what I mean? Think about what you're doing when you're picking a load. It's not that cut and dry usually. So look at it, look at the time and the appointments, where it's going, look that up on Google, look at the city, is it tight, if you're willing to deal with it. Go a little bit further. There's a lot of money out here that if you just really understand what you're doing, you can, you know, you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing.
Ran this long. It's the next day. Son of It's the next day. We're in New Hampshire. And I gotta make it the rest of the way by 12 o'clock. So I think I'll be coming off of sleeper time at like 9:45. So I got up at 8 o'clock so I can get right. So I can get right on to doing what I gotta do at 9:45. I need every minute I can get, because I don't know what the traffic's gonna be like. Let's go.
All right, this is one of the situations you get in with multi-stops. So let's start from the beginning. First of all, let's get out of here safely. Seatbelt on, watch for pedestrians early in the morning. Everybody's starting their job. A lot of people, day cabs are parked back there, and their cars are parked back there. That's why you see dudes in the little vests. Those are local cats. And they come to work, go park their truck, park their car, start their rig, their day cab. Then they walk up to the front of the place and you know, go get a coffee or something like that. This truck stop got a really nice deal going on here. Just acres charging, you know, $13, $20 a night, depending on any given time. It's 300 trucks back there. That's not a bad deal. See, day cabs everywhere. They ain't hating on it, man. Get your money. Get your money. But this I got a kick on it. This load, I hate when it does this. What direction am I supposed to be going in? On this thing, okay, I'm supposed to be going left. This load slowed down on the last pickup. They didn't let me go until 14:45. And if you know anything about having multi-stops, you know, every day's a stop. So I dropped in New York, from Michigan to New York. And remember, I don't have a passport, so that was 600 miles. I had to drop down under the lake. I couldn't cross over through London and Canada. So I had to drop down and come back up to get to Lancaster, New York. So I dropped that. I got there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then they wouldn't release me until 1400. So then I had to drive from Lancaster over here to the middle of New Hampshire. And
turn left at the traffic light, then take the ramp ahead.
And I had to go over to the middle of New Hampshire, and one second, safety first. Apex up the curb, right one on that white line. Make sure that my tandem's not hitting anything, and we're in there. But I had to freaking make sure I had to get over here after 1400, which means it stopped me somewhere around 11 o'clock at night is when I start. Hold on, Jesus, Joseph and Mary. 11 o'clock at night is when I was done. See, on the other hand, I have to wake up this morning, and I got about 3 hours flat to make it two and a half hours down the road in a northern eastern state that's doing construction. Okay, so this is what I tell you about not being in the sleeper berth more than 10 hours. Because the guys who like to be in the sleeper berth for 13, 12 hours, you'd have been late. So I woke up after 9 hours, got my stuff situated, so right at the 10th hour I can start, because I don't have a minute to lose for me to make it up here by 12 o'clock to make sure this is on time. Now I have to hope. Jesus, Joseph. What is this? I got alarms going off and stuff. Now I have to hope that the traffic doesn't mess up, because technically in distance I have time, but if traffic decides to mess with me, I could be late.
Continue.
So I gotta hope. Luckily it's 9 o'clock, and hopefully a lot of these smaller, these are not big congested areas really. These smaller areas around 9 o'clock you should be fine. Hold on 1 second. See what this hot shot is doing with this wide load. I'm gonna hit it at 65. I don't have the time BBSing on the speed. 65. Everybody else going 70. That's a good safe speed. So I have to get down here in time, and you need to recognize that this is a toss-up. It's a toss-up, dude, because you don't know what's about to happen up here. These people driving like a bat out of hell down here, they can crash. One of these people crash, you late. That's a fact, though. One of these people crash, you are late. Ain't nothing you can do about it either. That's the name of the game. So let's hope that I get here on time. Let's run it. I have finally made it here. I got here at 10:50, which means I'm early. The appointment was at 12, so this got here successfully. I don't have any what do they call it? Failures. They call it some kind of failure, something they call it here, but I don't have any of those. That's here, so that's done. It wasn't 800 miles because I couldn't go through Canada. If I could have went from Michigan through London to Lancaster, it would have been 800 miles. So you got to add another 300 miles today, 9, 10, 11. So it was 1,100 miles to 1,100 actual miles to 28.9 plus extra couple other payments. So it's $3,000. We'll just call it $3,000 for 1,100 miles. So that's not a big deal. That's great. Half of that, they took half the weight off of it, so I was only at like 1,200 pounds. Like I'm only dropping like 1,200 off here. It's nothing. Like maybe one pallet, not even a full pallet. So that's beautiful. That's done. Like I said, man, remember, the multi-stops aren't the enemy, man. They're really not. You just gotta learn how to work them. You gotta be patient and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. Like I said, on this channel right now for the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be back to the basics, dude. So all other stuff, I feel like it's getting too convoluted. It's getting way too much drama also. So listen, we're back to the basics on here, man. Listen, you got some videos you want me to do, because I've been knocking out what people wanted me to do. Put them in the comments, man. Put the comment down there and say what hey man, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on that? So and so. If I feel like doing it, I will definitely do it, man. Don't do drugs. Make sure you sub to a channel that's trying to give you tangible ways to A, come into the industry, B, do well on your first year. After that, you'll become your own man. You do what you're gonna do. I don't really go up into the rafters when it gets to like authorities and who has an authority. I don't really care about none of that stuff. That's something I'm not interested in. Let them people have that. Go to their channel. Don't do drugs.